Hi, we're Team 39, and we're going to do a discussion panel about the ethic dilemma of McDonald's.
So what's the question?
Who wants to start?
Okay, so first of all, let's present the case, and it's a case where 3 customers from McDonald's, from Motorbike, and from Starbucks complain because their coffee, they get burnt because their coffee is too hot. So the question is it the fault of the customer or is it the fault of the company?
Well, I think that when an accident occurs, always the customer has the reason. It doesn't matter what happens, but if he or she demands the company, he will have the reason always. So
I think that every time you have a product or a service, you always have to have a warning, no matter what the product is. Even though it's a coffee and even though it's supposed to be hot, and even though it's stupid to tell them that it is hot, you have to do it because you're still selling a product, or whether it's service and then you have to put the instructions on it. So, having like a sign that says caution didn't hurt the company, and at the same time the customer would be like, yeah, okay, I know it's hot, but it also says it's hot.
But in the case of one of these companies, the coffee did say it was hot.
Yeah.
So you're telling people, but the thing is though that you're not following your quality control standards. So even though it's really silly and it's a case where customers are clearly taking advantage of the situation, as a company you must follow your quality control standards in order to get into these kind of problems that can cost you a lot of money.
Like once you sell a product, it's outside your store. It's the responsibility of the client of how they use the product. So I think it's not the company's fault.
I agree.
I also think it's not company's fault because you can't control what the people do with your products. It's like saying that guns kill people, and it's actually people that kills people are not guns.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it is the company's fault because their quality is not what they're claiming it to be, because they're saying my coffee should not be hotter than this, and it is. But in this case, it's not a big deal. It wasn't a big accident. If it was something different, then maybe I would say the company should be punished. I think it is the company's fault, but they shouldn't be punished for it because it didn't cause any serious consequences.
It should only be like for the company to increase their quality and their service.
I think also the companies should find a balance between the optimum characteristics of the product and the customer requirements, because it's all a balance, and the company didn't know what the customer gonna do, and if the company find a balance, they can.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the case of the hospital. What are the main processes of the hospital, and how can you measure their quality control?
Okay, well, one of them was like the customer service, and they talked a lot about the customer service, that all the hospital wanted to do the best for the clients. So since the little thing that is put in the name in the bed and saying like, if you need anything you should call the cell phone, like all of those details are gonna make the client happy. So at the end, when they're out of the hospital, they can like do a survey and see how the service it was. And the company said that if the results from the survey started like declining, then they would change this strategy in order to be better every day for the consumers.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that because you're offering a service and not a product, then customer service is super important because there's always going to be interaction between the client and the company. So you have to offer your customer the best quality service possible. and especially being a hospital because you're dealing with really serious situations.
Also because you're working with a life, so everything you do must be like,
Top notch.
yeah. So you need to be very careful about what you are doing with that person. So
And also in healthcare, you are dealing with a lot of feelings. So it's not only the patient, it's also their family and how you interact with them and how you like make them feel like you're actually doing this for them, not actually only for the money.
And also, you have to be better than other hospitals. So, I think by you can use statistics, as our textbook said, you can use SPC to measure using some control variables, like for instance, how long does a patient take to recover in your hospital, and how long does he take to recover in a different hospital? Like, you can use a lot of control variables to determine that amount of time and to improve.
Yeah, I think the service has to fulfill the customer expectations and beyond.
I also think it was mentioned in the video that they always, like the human resource department, always notices whether clients would recommend the hospital. You know, when you fill in a survey and they say, they ask you all the questions, but the most important question is, would you recommend it? So you have to do everything quality-wise that's under your control that would make your customer recommend you.
So that's it, and thank you for listening.
Thank you.